Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Louis Centeno show. So glad to have you. We're here live in Tampa, Florida. It's been raining throughout the evening, throughout the night. Woke up this morning a little damp here, but I'm so glad that you're joining us. In a few minutes, I'm gonna bring in a very special guest, Lord Coche is gonna be joining us in a few minutes. But just to recap, and if you hear a dog in the background, that is my my poodle, who happens to have perfect timing, barking and all that stuff. But let's get to some news first. Back in April of this year, I've heard, at that time I heard there was a strong chance, and I was hearing that the Wonder Woman 1984 was going to be moved, possibly towards the end of the year. The month I heard was October or November. I didn't have a concrete month, but those are the 2 months that I was hearing, and possibly next year. I said that back in April, and then obvious yesterday we got word that Wonder Woman was indeed moved to October. Now, and again, and I said this yesterday as well. Don't be surprised if it's moved again. And for those that wants me to give a month, you see, because I'm in a no-win situation here. I heard October, November, but obviously, no one knew with this pandemic that what we're going through. But this is just me speculating. If it does get moved to next year, I wouldn't be surprised if it takes the month and day of where Matt Reeves' Batman was going to be released. But again, uh, that's what I heard in April, and then it was moved yesterday, and it makes sense. I mean, I could not see Patty Jenkins and Warner Brothers releasing Wonder Woman in August. It just didn't make financial sense, because even though the country is slowly opening up, you still have people who's going to be hesitant to go out. You're still going to have people who's going to be hesitant to go to the movies. And Patty Jenkins has a lot invested in this movie. Gal Gadot has a lot invested in this movie. Warner Brothers has a lot invested in this movie. So it's not a slight to them. It's actually a small business move from them to moving from August to October. And again, guys, don't be surprised if it's moved again to next year, because when I heard in April, uh, uh, I was told it will be moved either towards the end of the month or next year. So everything is aligning to what I heard back in April. So obvious Tenet was moved 2 weeks, which to me doesn't make sense. I mean, why move it? I mean, if you're gonna move a movie, why move it 2 weeks later? To me, it doesn't make sense. But Lord knows. So that's good too. And on a side note, I want to personally thank every single one of you guys who have donated to the GoFundMe page for my daughter Yasmin. Um, Medical need. The issue is that we do have insurance. However, my wife deductible is so high that we have to meet that deductible first. And obviously, quite frankly, with the pandemic going on right now, we just cannot afford the Dexcom that she needs to help monitor her sugar. So right now the goal is 4,000. Right now we're close to 1,500. Every penny counts. Again, I thank everyone who has donated to the GoFundMe page for my daughter. Why 4,000? Because 4,000 would ensure her that she has the proper care towards the end of the year, and have something left over for January when a new plan kicks in. I plan to add on, and even me adding on my insurance, I'm still gonna have, I believe, a $2,000 deductible. I'm gonna be so. I'm not gonna get into politics or anything like that. I'm not gonna get into the insurance and all that stuff. But that's what it is. But special thanks to everyone who have donated, who have retweeted. No amount is any amount helps, whether it be $1, $5, $10, $20. I greatly appreciate it. So I just want to give a special shout out to every single one of you guys who participated, and hopefully you guys will be able to help me meet that goal. That being said, right now I'm going to bring in Lord Coche, who is in California, who's 3 hours. It's about 9 a.m. Mr. Coche, have you had your cup of coffee yet?
Having it right now as we speak. What's up?
Oh, okay. Oh man, so I appreciate you joining me. It's a pleasure to have you. So let's get right into it. First, your thought on Wonder Woman being moved from August to now October.
Can you hear me better now, by the way?
Oh, a lot better. Yes, a lot
All right,
better.
good.
Yes.
I forgot to plug it in.
Okay.
Wonder Woman being moved to October 2nd, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. I honestly believe, and I actually came on. Good morning, Zack. Right, I came on his show. I believe around April, and we talked about that. What I was hearing that that it was being discussed that it was going to be moved. At that time, I did hear October, November. I didn't give a specific month because the country was shut down. So, but I knew it just made smart business sense. So that was being discussed, and I was told in April, don't be shocked if it's moved to next year. So what and if you're Patty Jenkins, you have two options. Number one, you could put it on voice demand, or you could wait it out. I don't blame Patty Jenkins if she decides to release it next year. She has a lot riding on this movie. Gal Gadot has a lot riding on this movie. Warner Brothers has a lot riding on this movie, and I don't think no one will blame them if they wait until things get better. Because even if the country open up, you still have a lot of people who are tentative to go out. You have a lot of people who's tentative to even go to go to the store, go shopping. So it's a smart move by them. What do you think?
No, I think it is smart move to move it up or push it back as far as it can be, because we don't know how going to the movie theater is going to be like. Is there going to be social distancing? I think there's going to be a lot of situations where we'll have to get used to, as a society, or we'll go back to normal real quick. We don't know. So there's a lot of variables. So I understand pushing it back until its release date. And we already have a lot of people excited for 2021 anyways. So I don't see it would hurt whichever direction they go, really.
I would prefer that they release it next year because can you imagine you have uh, Justice League, Zack Snyder Justice League, you have Wonder Woman, and then you have Matt Reeves Batman. You want to talk about creating some noise? That's
That's a
creating
lot
some
of
noise.
DC.
That's definitely a lot of noise out there, and I wouldn't again, being in Patty Jenkins' shoes. No one blames her if she decides to move it to next year, because even to me, I still think in October, I still think she's going to take a financial hit. And what I mean by financial hit is it going to make money? Yes, but it's not going to make money the way what they projected it or what they were hoping for. So if I'm her, I'll move it to next year.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That wouldn't be bad, because I know some stores uh, aren't even making their daily projected hits in this time. So would the theaters make that? I'm not so sure, honestly.
Yeah, the theater industry has taken a massive financial hit, and it's going to take them a while to recuperate. So again, by miracle chance, if anybody from Warner Brothers watching, um, we will not blame you if you decide to hold it off and push it to next year. As a matter of fact, Warner Brothers they just did that with Godzilla versus King Kong. They moved it, I believe, to May of next year. If I'm not I
Yeah, I
believe
believe so.
that.
I think that's what I saw last night.
Yeah, yeah, it was moved to May of next year. So, but pretty awesome week. We were on with Zack on Wednesday, with the round table. What was your thought on that show?
It went by too fast. I think we were just a bunch of guys at a bar hanging out. That felt very casual and nice. I had a great time, man. I
Yeah,
don't even
yeah.
remember what we said. That's how much a great time it was. We were just talking
Yeah,
like
yeah.
regular. So I'm looking forward to watching episodes to remember.
Zack
But it's good.
Zaza has this gift. He has the voice to be a radio man, man. He has that impeccable voice that makes you want to listen, and he has the perfect radio voice, whether it be a podcast or so forth. He has that knack. So tell the viewers a little bit about you. I mean, where what do you do? I mean, for what I understand, you're in California, right?
Yeah.
Where in California are you?
I reside near well, I'm in between houses right now, but I usually am based out of LA. And yeah, I've been here mostly. I'm mostly a California boy. Grew up as a kid in San Francisco, then moved down here,
San
and been here ever
Francisco.
since.
Are you a Giants fan? San Francisco Giants fan?
Well, I'm not too much into those kind of sports, but
You watch any kind of
I
sports?
cheer. Mostly professional wrestling. I'm a patron of the arts and athletes there, but
So you watch
I'll catch
WWE?
highlights every now and then. I keep up.
You watch WWE?
WWE, AEW mostly now, Stardom, New Japan. I catch clips of AAA, CMLL, so I'm all over the place.
Yeah, I started watching January 23rd, 1984. Let me see if you know wrestling. What was that day? January 23rd, 1984.
Oh, I'm bad with the past because I kind of got into it in the '90s. Uh,
That's the day where wrestling was put on the map. I'll give you a clue.
was that a Mania?
No,
No, put
no.
on the map. I'm bad with dates, man. I throw in the towel. I tap out.
Okay.
I'm
That
horrible. No.
That's that's when the Hulk Hogan actually beat the Iron Sheik at Madison Square Garden to win the at the time the WWF Championship, and that's where wrestling started to get hot. Um,
Hmm.
though you are '90s kids, so that you probably what you Stone Cold, The Rock.
Well, that's when I got into wrestling. I'm actually '80s kid. I'm 40, so I got
What is
into it heavily with Stone Cold and Rock.
Stone Cold or Rock?
It was after the Nation Domination was gone.
Okay. Well, without Hulk Hogan, there wouldn't be no Stone Cold. There wouldn't be no
No,
Rock.
there wouldn't. Those
I
guys are
mean,
classics. I remember
yeah.
seeing them growing up. I just never followed.
Yeah, the thing that I don't get is that I don't understand why people get on Hogan as far as him not being a wrestler, a good technician, and
Have
in
you seen his
order,
matches in Japan? They're very impressive.
yeah, and here's the thing that gets to me that people don't understand about the business. It's not just about being a good technician. You could be a good technician, but I mean, I could find you a bunch of wrestlers that was great technician, but they didn't connect with the crowd. They didn't
No,
have the mic skill. They didn't have the charisma,
you
and
need that charisma and energy.
that's what Hulk Hogan had. He had charisma. He connected, and without Hulk Hogan, there is no wrestling. So,
Hmm.
what you're talking about WrestleMania one, and I'm not sure if you know this, Vince McMahon mortgaged his house, his business on
Yep.
WrestleMania one. So he basically was putting his money on Hulk Hogan, and
Hmm.
it is what it is. So who you like better? You like Stone Cold or you like The Rock?
I like The Rock.
You like The Rock?
Yeah, because I like someone who can flexibility. I appreciate that he can be both bad guy, good guy, and in between,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
hold it with the same amount of energy. Because when Stone Cold went back to being a bad guy, um, that didn't work out so well, and it kind of turned comedic. And then they rolled with a comedic bad guy with him. So
What
I like The Rock.
What was the best Rock match you ever saw?
Best Rock match I ever saw had to be the first time he and John Cena went at it at WrestleMania, because
Really?
yeah, I was not a John Cena fan. He's okay, but still not a fan of his character. So I remember I canceled a on the spot date with the girl just to go to the family and watch it, just to make sure. So yeah, that has to be good. And the outcome was
I
just
guess the
amazing.
girl was not a hottie.
I took an L on that one, but it was worth it because that match was awesome. It was great.
Right. The best two Rock match that I've ever saw was the one in Houston with Stone Cold, where Vince McMahon jumped in and helped Stone Cold win, which shocked everyone.
Yeah.
Right. And then was the Hogan and Rock match. I mean,
Oh, that is a classic. That is a classic because that was
that
after the WCW merge.
yes, yes, that was a classic, a classic. It just the WWE has not been the same ever since. I guess it started to go downhill once John Cena got away from wrestling. That's when the product started going down.
Kind of. I think the product started going down when they saw the hype of John Cena, and then they kind of turned the whole show around that PG look because he did appeal to a
Yes.
lot of kids. He does a lot of good work for kids and charities. Can't deny that. And the company, I think, kind of molded around behind him because you'll see other wrestling shows, women can fight men equally,
Right,
but
China.
yeah, but even pro wrestling right now, if you watch AEW or any other show, especially in Japan, even and Lucha Libre, the women, especially in Lucha Libre, there's no women title. The woman can fight the man for the man's title too. It's just for everybody. But they don't have that rule in the WWE. You can't mix and match because they play it really safe. They have rules about chair shots. There's a lot of safety nets they have to work around, and I think that kind of steals the energy. And also a little bit too much micromanagement going on that show. But they do focus a little bit more on theatrics because I think they really want to find that next Rock type of people and want to focus on that.
It's gonna be hard. Now, going to comics. For what I understand, you're more of a DC guy more than Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And who is your favorite DC guy?
Oh, it's a tie between Cyborg and Superman.
Really?
It is a tie.
Okay. Well, I'm a Superman guy, as you know. So we're gonna leave Superman for last. But what is it about Cyborg that makes you connect with that character?
Well, first off, because I like the voice actor in Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go, but the first series, and it drew me to him because it was an interesting choice of acting because he was so boisterous, so full of energy and life. Yet, when they cut down to the serious stories of him, it's just like man versus machine, which can get kind of cold themes, and um okay, I think Superman's on top because I idolize him a lot, and I think he's symbolically powerful. But personally, with Cyborg, kind of represents this kind of journey of like, see, I'm a mixed ethnicity. So when you grow up in two worlds, and you see that they can work, then you look back and think, society could probably, go through this or something, or we can find more tolerance and stuff, or you find out that you create your own identity. You don't have to be slave to other uh, societal projections. And I see that journey in characters like Cyborg.
Right. Okay.
And also, I really feel there could be a cool, dope ass Cyborg video game. Just make it on him, not based on any comic, but make it Mega Man. But instead of Mega Man, it's just Cyborg running around with the choo choo choo, and then just go crazy camp with all the villains. He can fight anyone. Just side scroller. That's a little personal dream I want DC to put out. Just a Mega Man Cyborg game.
And tell us about Superman. What is it about Superman that makes him your favorite character?
So Superman, symbolically, I think he's someone to aspire to, and that sounds super cliche, but I'll tell you why. He's at first I was a Marvel fan for a while in the 90s, and my only impression of Superman was the Reeves movies, Super Friends, and Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller's. So I wasn't a Superman fan. I thought everything was easy for him. He was Boy Scout. I was super ignorant, hating on him. Then a friend said, just read some of his comics. So I read some of his comics and found some depth with the character. Saw that he was actually layered. He actually fights villains stronger than him, kind of like Goku, and he has to make difficult choices. And then there's a lot of darkness that surrounds his world. Like there's some underworld issues in Metropolis that's just scary, where people kill each other and it's violent. And then he doesn't see it because there's this walls of perception that he also fights. So he's a deep character. And when I found out that he's also like an adoptive kid, an immigrant in a way, and he's just trying to find the right thing to do. I think his as I became older, he became a symbol of how it was to become a man, an adult. Whereas when I was a kid going through adolescence, I idolized Batman because he's all about trying to figure out your surroundings. Because his world, Gotham is a scary place. You see gothic statues and everything's dark. You think so? He's around all this negativity and he's trying to make sense of it, or he does make sense of it with being strong, creating his own image of Batman. So as a kid going through bullies and high school, that helped a lot. So I think Batman helped me become a better uh, kid growing up. But when you become a man, and then now I'm like a parental figure, Superman is making that a lot stronger. So yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
find better ways of being a better man because of Superman. There you go.
Right. Well, for me, I have two favorite DC characters. Superman obviously being number one, and then Batman being number two. Now the reason I like Batman is he's a vigilante. He works on his own.
Hmm.
He doesn't answer to no one, and he plays both characters. So the Bruce Wayne. That's why I kind of like the Christopher Nolan the way Christian Bale portrayed Bruce Wayne was kind of like a little goofy with the ladies, and so no one would have ever thought that he's the Batman. It's like you're unique. You have that glasses. And let's say you was the Batman, nobody would ever guess that. Because you're so blend in with society that no one it was hard for anyone to see. And as far as Batman, he doesn't play by anybody rules. I mean, that's why I related more with Ben Affleck's Batman because
Mm.
he was this old gritty guy that just got frustrated. He's like, you know what? Forget the rules, because with the bad guys, you can't play by the same rules. You can't. So Batman affords, him playing Batman affords him to bend the rules if he has to. Now for Superman, I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm actually a religious guy. I'm a Christian. So if you
Oh, I am too. I'm
know,
Christian as well, brother.
yeah. So it reminds me, if you look at the Bible, how Jesus says, "For God so loved the world, He sent His only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in Him will not perish but have everlasting life."
Hmm.
So God sent His Son to the world to save the world. What did Joel do?
Right.
Send His only Son to earth to be a difference. He represents good. And so it's and if you read the comics of how Superman was written, he's a Christ-like.
Oh
Superman's
yeah.
a Christ-like. So that's why you see Zack Snyder do a lot of reference of that. He has yet to rise. Well, I
Yes.
mean, according to so, and if you look at the Batman versus Superman, if you look at the Man of Steel, Zack Snyder put a lot of that in there. And people that don't understand the character, people that claim to read the comics, say, why does it have to be that in the movie? Well, it just shows me that you never read the comics. Because if you read the comics, that's how Superman was created. So I like Superman, and there's a misconception with people that said that it has it easy for him. No, it's not easy for him. Here is a man who's almighty, okay, and then he's struggling. Okay, do I kill this bad guy? No, and then but Superman cherishes every life.
Hmm.
So he struggles with that. He struggles. He's an alien. Okay, an alien. What's going on right now today? You see, regardless if you agree illegal immigration, you don't agree illegal immigration. A lot of people have an opinion on that. well, Superman fits that description. He's an alien. So I think Zack Snyder told the right story. I think Zack Snyder gets it right. Now I want to read your email because this guy sent me an email, and and I said I was gonna read it, and it's from EGC Comics or EGS Comics. Not sure if you're familiar with that. He
Hmm.
followed me, and I told him, listen, that's your opinion, and everyone is definitely allowed to have an opinion. And Zack Snyder's movie is not for everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna read you what the email says, and I want your thoughts on it. And thank
Okay.
you, and thank you, EGS Comics, for sending that email. So and hopefully he's watching, because he said he's gonna watch, so he could give his thoughts on it. I wanted to tell you about some of the things that are on my mind. First, love your show. Thank you. Your reporting. Thank you. There is something that is troubling me. As you know, I am not a supporter of Zack Snyder take on his superhero universe, which is fine. And he's been respectful. I do like some of his other movies, but I am not a fan of DCEU. I know we differ on opinion, and that's okay, and it is okay. I know we are big Superman fan as well, and I know we differ on opinion of Man of Steel, which is also just fine. We all are not going to agree on everything. The reason I do not support the release of the Snyder Cut was because I did not care for Zack's previous movies. So why would I want the cut to be released? Question mark. And trust me, there are millions of people who feel the very same way. I won't say millions of people, but okay. Let me say this: if there was ever a do not release the Snyder Cut movement, that there will never be a Snyder Cut coming out. That's your opinion. That will have crushed the movement, but that did not happen. Uh, and a thought on that: do you really think that? I mean, because there was. He said there was no movement not to release the Snyder Cut. I disagree with you, EGC. Have you not watched Jordan Collier? I mean, there was a lot of bloggers that were, against the release of the Snyder Cut. So there were a movement not to release the Snyder Cut. We were being told it's never gonna be released. It's a pipe dream. We're not gonna see the light of day. Am I right? Or am I wrong, Lil Coche? I mean, how
I
many?
think you're right because I've come across on social media. Pretty much, it feels like that, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, on social media, I've come across some accounts that claim the Snyder Cut movement to be a Snyder Cut cult, and then these accounts that are like the dedicated and trying to get people right up to be like, don't release it. I go to their pages, and almost all the time, it's just some picture taken from a comic book or movie as their avatar. And then all their posts are negative memes and hateful stuff about Snyder's a misogynist. He's the reason his own child took her life, and all this horrible stuff. And then he's trash. Nothing even substantial to talk about in detail, even if they share such an opposite point of view. But they are dedicated and always trying to rile up troops, and it didn't happen. So I would believe, yes, there was a movement against the cut, but it wasn't big enough because that's really a loud small group, in my opinion. The opinion may not be that they don't like Snyder, but I want to almost say malicious energy to try and take him down and his work down is intense, and that's very cult like because you don't see faces, you just see this like dedicated witch hunt.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, and not only that, for him to say there was not a movie, do not release the Snyder Cut. Did you not forget, EGCS, that the Wall Street Journal put on a hit job? I mean, they interviewed Chris Wong, they interviewed other bloggers, and that was a hit job to try to destroy the movement. So I disagree with you, my brother. They were a movement to try to destroy the cut. But what happened is that it's just made us stronger. It made us more determined not to listen to the noise and the hate, and each month, each week, each second, each year for the last 2.5 years, the movement got stronger. We have more followers. We were educating people. My kids now know about the Snyder Cut, and even people that do not like Zack Snyder movie, and it's okay. We are allowed to like a director or not director. But the people that I spoke to that did not like Zack Snyder did agree that he should be allowed to make his movie and release his movie. And it was wrong for Warner Brothers to come and change all his hard work. So even those people that didn't like Zack Snyder said, okay, we don't like Zack Snyder movie. However, what Warner Brothers did was wrong, and he should be able to release his movie. So those were, there were a lot of those kind of people. So as we discussed on Wednesday, that uh, the Snyder Cut is going to do well. You're going to have people like us who love Zack Snyder. You're going to have people who were in the camp that I just told you that don't like his movies, but still going to watch it because they're going to want to say, okay, let me see what was the big fuss about this movie. And even the haters is going to watch it. So it's going to do well. So going back to the email, the people who do not like Zack Snyder vision and movies never felt that need to start a movement because let's face it, I think we all felt that the Snyder Cut movie will not make the difference. Well, it did make the difference. The cut will never be released. So no need for a movement. We just can voice our opinion and about it. And how we do not want in chats and social media when the subject comes up. I mean, that's where you're wrong. My opinion. Um, if it didn't make a difference, then why did HBO Max CEO said that they hurt the fans? Why did Warner Media says that they hurt us? If it didn't make a difference, you see, this is a person who it's so blinded. Well, I don't want to say blinded. I don't know how to use another word, but he's so blinded by not liking Zack Snyder DCEU interpretation of the character that he cannot see for what it is. That the fans is the one. We demanded it, and they listened to us. It's a smart business move. So for those people that don't like Zack Snyder, okay, if you are a CEO of Warner Media and you don't like Zack Snyder, but you see a demand and you see you're gonna make money, you're not gonna release it because you don't like his movie. If you're a person or CEO that don't listen to the consumer, then you should not be a CEO. The CEO
Hmm.
what makes a company great is listening to the listening to your consumers. There's a demand, you make a profit. There's no demand, you won't invest. It's just point blank. It's just simple numbers. Okay, so I'm trying to find a part where he says he has a problem with Superman.
Well, I want to jump in while you look for that. Is that
Yeah.
one thing I want to add is that even if you don't like Snyder or you don't like the style of his direction, that's no reason to say the film shouldn't come out because you understand that we all have different tastes and we all have different artists that we like and support. Like even in music, obviously I don't listen to a lot of certain genres, but do I think the artists shouldn't express themselves in those genres? No, I think they should be free to do as they wish. Now, the people who are against it, I really don't understand because it's like the movie can't offend you. It's your choice to watch it or not watch what you don't like. It's a preference. It's like, you don't see people saying, "Oh man, I hate Coca-Cola. Pepsi is so legit." You don't see people riding hard for that. It's just like it's more of a compassion thing, I think, a mindset. Because if any director, let's say Michael Bay, Steven Spielberg, whoever you want to fill in the gap, put their name there, their film gets tarnished by a committee, and the product is not. You don't feel any sincerity, artistry, art, artistic integrity, artistry. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. And you don't see any personality, and you don't, when there's none of that, you don't see or feel the point to the film. It's just a product with no soul or heart. And any director who has untainted, pure, sincere, hardworking film or story to tell, whether you like it or not, that should be released on its own, just for the sake of the history of film. And um, whether you like it or not, that should just come out for the people who do, because it's about the people who love it, and the people who hate it, they've already made their choice.
Right. And here's the thing: if you don't care for it, if you don't, then don't watch it.
Yeah, it's for others. It's for people.
Exactly. So why should I, you, and many others be penalized for something that you don't want to watch? So basically, what you're saying is that okay, I don't want to watch it, so I don't want nobody else to watch it. That's
Hmm.
like to me. That's a closed-minded person that don't get it. If you don't like his interpretation, and I say this many times, and very few people know this. I don't like Watchmen. Now, have you heard me ever say bash the movie? Never. I've never tweeted about it. Have you? If anyone ever heard me that the people who like it should if there's a director's cut, which for what I understand there is, it should not be released because I don't like it. I mean, talk about, you see, you that say you understand Superman, the character. Superman character stands for what? Justice, loyalty, the American way. He was raised in Kansas, and so we should have the ability to watch what we want to watch. If you don't like Zack Snyder his movie, it's fine. It's okay. It's not for everyone. I get it. But then why not? Because he said in that email that he didn't want it to be released. Why? I don't get that part. And I've invited him to my show so we can have a debate. I don't get that part. I mean,
The truth is, I think people who say that are the same people who watch every comic book movie because they claim to be a comic book fan. Like, you see a lot of MCU
yeah.
fans in the DCEU theaters huffing and puffing. It's like, no one made you watch it. You don't have to claim yourself as a pro and have to see it all, even the ones you hate, and that creates a negative energy in with it. So usually people are saying it shouldn't be released are the people who, from what I've seen, have created this little rule in their head that, oh, since it came out, it's a comic book film, I have to watch it. No one's forcing you to watch it. You can get
Yeah.
by not watching any film you don't want to. Like, I still haven't seen Endgame or Infinity War.
I haven't seen Endgame.
No, and I'm not knocking it or whatever.
But I'm gonna tell you why I haven't seen Endgame. Okay, the reason, and I'm not gonna watch Endgame. To me, there's two factors. Okay, but you don't see me on my channel or tweeting it out that I'm against for people liking or not liking Endgame. I'm against if there's another director's call. Oh, when remember when it was released in the theaters, there was extra bonus. I was not against that. If
I
there
wasn't
is,
against either.
if you want to watch it, go ahead and watch it. That's on you. Okay, that's on you. But the reason I didn't watch Endgame is for two reasons. Number one, a lot of the concept that the Russo brother got from Endgame was in Batman versus Superman. Okay,
Mm.
study that. Look at that.
Hmm.
The first time the Trinity was together, what happened in Endgame? This, and I'm going by what people told me, that there was an iconic scene with Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. Where did we see that from? We saw that in Batman versus Superman. Okay.
Oh,
No,
wow.
number two. Okay. This is for the bloggers and you Marvel fan. Okay, that criticize Batman versus Superman because of the Martha scene. Well, I didn't like the Martha scene because how can a name make them stop fighting? That just doesn't make sense. That it says Martha and Batman stop. When two people are fighting, no name will make them stop. That's just dumb. And in the end game, Captain America is fighting Captain America, and the word Bucky is mentioned, and those same people are saying, "Oh, brilliant." Bucky, the name made them stop. It was so brilliant that the name made them stop.
I actually like that because that proves that the Martha scene is correct because they sound like the
Exactly. The
same
same people
situation,
that had a problem with
same
Batman versus
emotional.
Superman, the Martin scene, because the name didn't have a problem with the Bucky scene. It just drives me crazy. I call them the most phoniest people, and those are the bloggers that kisses Disney's butt, and those are the Marvel fan people. I mean, it's just to me, and I wanted to do a show with with one of my friends um, uh, who was on the he's a Marvel fan. He can't stand Lex Luger. He can't stand Jesse
Oh,
Eisenberg interpretation of Lex Luthor.
gotcha.
Lex Luthor, and then he's saying that the Martin scene didn't make sense to him because no name will make him stop. This is what he literally told me. The Martin scene didn't make sense to me because how can a name make them stop? How can the name make them stop fighting? How can the name make Batman stop killing Superman? I mean, no name. I mean, if you two people are gonna kill each other, no name can make them stop. And then the Bucky scene, he's saying that was brilliant. I mean, where do you think the Russo brothers got that idea from?
Mm.
Oh, you Marvel fan out there, he got it from Batman versus Superman. So that's why I don't. That's why I'm determined. I will never watch the Endgame. Okay, and sorry, Iron Man dying from that scene is just. I mean, where did we see that from? Superman dying. So a lot of the concept and study it. I challenge you guys. The Russo brothers agree. They will ask that question. Lord Coche. He said that they got
I
a lot
did.
of the concept for Batman versus Superman. So how is it that the directors could get that concept for Batman versus Superman? You not like that, but then love Endgame. Now I did watch Infinity War. It was good. I
Oh,
did watch
cool.
that.
Nice.
I did watch that. I did watch Infinity. It was good. It was different. But when I found out about the Russo brothers, that the Endgame, that they got a lot of concept of Batman versus Superman. I didn't watch it because of the dumb bloggers, that were praising that movie, but trash Batman versus Superman.
Yeah,
So
that attitude didn't make me comfortable to go in that theater with that type of energy around me. So I kind of shelved it. I'll check it out later. I honestly didn't want to see it mostly because I'm not that invested in that storyline. And I'm nothing against it. I'm just like passively, I don't feel like going. I'll watch a rom-com
we're
or something.
adults now. See, if you had kids, um,
Hmm.
and no knocking Marvel. I mean, Marvel has its audience, and
Yeah.
Marvel audience is for kids and family, and it's okay. I don't listen. That works for them. I mean, they'd be dumb, they'd be stupid to get away from that model. If that's what's working for you, you making money,
Yeah,
stay
do
that
your
way.
thing.
Yeah, but this is why I have a problem with Jeff Johns, with Kevin T, and Tommy Everett, that they try to um, copy Marvel platform. You can't do that. You can't do that. It's like you have a real $10 bill and you have a fake $10 bill. No matter how real it looks, it's still fake. So it really just that's why the fan was not connected to it, because we were saying, wait a minute, if I want to watch family movie, kids movie, I go to Marvel.
Hmm.
Me personally, DC characters are more for the adults.
Yeah, I was expecting DC to copy the same template of MCU in the sense that MCU they've established a consistent style of like the teen type of superhero experience with family can enjoy too. Like that PG-13 movie that's a little bit risky, but the family could watch it no problem, right? It's like that's just one tiny example that they just stuck to their style. And I thought with the DCEU, the right way to copy that MCU success is to stick to your established style and stay consistent. Stay along the path, stay along that DCEU style that they start with Man of Steel and so forth. And I think they would be fine. But I think then, like Zack said, they copied the frosting and not the cake. and then it went upside down. And a case in point, look at Harry Potter. Not every Harry Potter's not for everybody.
I
But it
never
has
watched.
a loyal, strong following to carry it on, and that's something that no one realized that Zack Snyder's DCEU has that same strong, loyal following. And any loyal following is like any fan base. It just, as a family, grows bigger in its own. It's not just to get everybody must be a fan. No, but it's enough to be strong and carry it forward. And I think people are taking that for granted because of their own personal preference.
Right. Do you like the MonsterVerse?
The MonsterVerse? Oh, I'm getting into it. Because I'm mostly a Godzilla fan, mostly. I
Right.
mean, yeah, he's all here. But
I have all of them. I have from the 50s, 60s. I have
yeah,
every.
these are just my favorites. I got them too, and I still have some VHS tape somewhere.
Oh
So
wow! Oh
yeah,
Lord.
man, old school.
Yeah,
Back in the '80s, my father would rent a video from the store, Blockbuster, and then we just record it on the other
Lord
VHS.
Coche, please
VCR.
explain to the millennials out there what is a VHS. I mean, 'cause
Oh, do I
they
have one
might
nearby?
not know.
No. All right, VHS is like a cassette tape, but bigger, thicker, stubborn, and slows down more. Like I watched Star Wars so much, I did not know that my the tape that spins was slower. So everyone had a deeper voice, but I didn't notice because it just progressed over time. Then when I got on DVD, I was like, "What happened? This movie's 2 minutes faster. What the hell?" And then the
Yeah,
rewinder. Oh yeah, and there's no chapter skipping. There's no. You had to watch the whole thing. Dedication, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
So if you want to go back to a part, you had to go "Wee!" and watch everyone do this, go backwards, and then there's these lines and whatever. And then if you don't want to get to the beginning of it, you'd buy the separate component, which is called a rewinder, where it's like a toaster oven for just your freaking VHS. You put the VHS in, pop it in, and it's even faster going rewinding it. And when it's done, poof, it's done like a Pop Tart.
You want to hear something that's gonna shock you?
Always.
Check this out. How many Star Wars movies are there?
Like the Star Wars movies or the Star Wars and expansions?
Both. From the expansion, both from the beginning, from the first one to the last one.
Now, are you counting the two Ewok movies as I do?
Yes.
Yeah. I have to count 3 Ewok movies. Samurai Jack, Clone Wars also.
See, I never. Okay.
There's a lot.
Right, but would you say more than 10, including the one with Harrison Ford? Would you,
Oh, there's usually more than 10. Probably
right,
12.
12, right? 12, right? I've never watched
13.
13. I've never not watched one of them.
See? I've come across some people like that, and that's
Never.
fine.
Now,
Some people are like, how could you?
the first one, I've watched clips of it. Like I didn't watch the whole movie, but I
Which one?
watched.
The first one, or the story first one?
No, no, the first one with Harrison Ford and
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right, the first
the
one
the,
made
I think that was made in what
77,
77, right?
year
I
before
think
Superman.
right. So that one I didn't watch the whole movie, but I watched like towards like the last 30 minutes. But that was when I was like probably like 10 or 11. I have not rewatched that. And what I was thinking about doing it, what I was thinking about doing is doing a like a Star Wars um I guess movie party watch
Should
where
do
I
that
get
movie reaction.
right. So I get to watch it with people who are big Star Wars fan because there's a YouTube channel that started off just like me, and then he never watched Star Wars. So when he asked people to help him join me understand it, he went from 200 subscribers to 1 million subscribers.
Okay.
I gotta ask Chris. So I'm not. If I'm thinking about doing that to see how many truly Star Wars fans out there to watch it together. But I just don't have. I can't see myself doing this and doing that because I'm a person. If I'm watching a movie, I like to focus on a movie. I can't.
I think you still can, because remember Zack Snyder's watch party? He just had the camera on him and he was just watching the movie. And if he had an idea, he was like, "Hey, look at this picture." I think you could probably watch the whole thing, because I think there's this one guy who watches. He watched Watchmen for the first time, and he was it was just like a podcast with the mic and that Elvis Presley mic thing, except he wasn't looking at the screen; he was looking at the movie. And a lot of people enjoyed it because his reactions were sincere, and I think that's just fun. Whether someone likes it or not, it's going to be a cool thing. So I think that's a good idea. You should try,
Yeah,
unless you can't sit through the whole thing.
I'm thinking about I'm doing that. The more subscribers I get, or just put a little feeler out on Twitter to
Do it
find
just for
out.
fun. I'd watch it.
Huh?
Just go for it anyways. Who cares? I'd watch
Yeah,
it.
I know. Well, if I'm gonna start, I definitely, I'm definitely gonna start from the one from the '77. Now,
I think
what?
go in the order that they were made is the best experience, in my opinion. Rewatching it, then flip the order however you want.
Right. Why does the Rise of Skywalker gets a lot of hate?
Oh, I think it's because honestly, I think people are still bitter they went off the canon because they George Lucas did do a series of books with Timothy Zahn and a whole bunch of other writers to expand the universe. And what Disney did, and I'm telling everybody, no one should be surprised that Disney resets everything. Is that Disney did their own universe, like they did a reboot and they retold that story. So all the stories that everyone's used to and expanding the rules of the Force were changed with the reboot. And that's what Disney does. They have their way or the highway. It's just their style. Like they take classic fairy tales, Snow White, Little Mermaid, which is like Rusaluchka or whatever. They change everything. Everything's rebooted. Ariel Little Mermaid, we didn't see anything of her sisters in the actual Little Mermaid story. Her sisters were more involved in the tale, and I believe it wasn't an evil witch that gave her powers over legs to see the prince. It was, I think, her father. I'm really hazy on the details, but it wasn't who we thought it was. And when she was in her legs, when she walked around, she could talk and whatever. But when she walked around, she actually felt like knives and fire on her feet. Like it was painful to walk around, but she bared it because she loved the guy who ended up marrying someone else instead. And then she sacrifices herself in the end. So obviously, we didn't see any of that in Disney. Disney resets and reboots everything they take control of. It's just their way. It's just how they do it because they want to tell the story fresh or original or whatever. As you see, like even Pirates of the Caribbean, after the three, each film was just kind of like it on its own. It doesn't really have a full character arc. That's just their style. That's how they do. So I don't think when Disney took over Star Wars, I was like, I think they're gonna do it their way and reboot it. And I think Rise of Skywalker gets a lot of hate for that, or that sequel trilogy just gets a lot of hate just because it's so rebooted and people were offended by that. And also other things going on. Some people say they just copy other stuff and it's not original Star Wars, but that's what I hear.
Okay. So, but did you watch it?
Oh yeah, I have it. I
Okay.
just
And did
have
you
all
like
Star
it?
Wars.
Do you like it?
I thought, well, I feel, see, this is weird. With the sequel trilogy, I'm half and half. Because I already have all the books. If I want to see that universe again, the original, I just read them and it's cool. So I treat this as like an alternate universe Star Wars. So I just watch it. And I thought it was all right. It felt like a really cool sci fi kung fu film. I do wish we had more fighting. The only problem with the Disney ones, I feel like there's not enough fight sequences or long enough. Did you see it? Oh wait, no, you haven't seen it. No, but there was this moment when I thought, oh wow, they're gonna throw down two versus the one bad guy. Oh, it's gonna be epic, and then all of a sudden, bad guy wins and dialogue, and then I was like, oh, no fight scene.
Oh,
So I thought it was all right.
okay. So you like going back to the MonsterVerse? Did you watch Godzilla 2014?
Oh, I had to. I watch every Godzilla.
Right. Okay. So who do you think? I mean, what? I'm not sure. What's your theory on Godzilla versus Kong? I mean, who do you
Godzilla
think?
needs to eat King Kong alive, like rip his head off and then just drink his blood. Sorry, that's very gross, but I'm a whole Godzilla fan because every time Godzilla has faced King Kong before in Japan, they made the movies. You could check it out, and every time for King Kong to be at Godzilla's level, they had to make him bigger than he was in the original story, and then at one point they even gave King Kong the ability to control electricity. So I felt like King Kong, and for him to be at like Smash Brothers level, equal status to go toe and toe with Godzilla. They had to make him bigger. They had to give him electricity. Pretty much, they had to juice him up. To me, that's cheating. So if you take Godzilla in the old story of like King Kong would be a lot smaller. So I feel like King Kong's story is fabricated. He's cheating. The win should go to Godzilla for that. So I hope he comes up on top. Because King Kong's just a little too. His story is altered just to be at equal level with Godzilla. So
this is what I think is gonna happen.
yeah,
I think they're gonna face off um, the first time in King Kong's territory. I think King Kong's gonna win because he has home court advantage.
I
You
can
know,
see that.
and it's gonna be a close fight, but I think he's gonna win the first one.
Because unfortunately, Godzilla is kind of like John Cena. Like he pulls the clutch in the end, but he gets beat up in the beginning. He always gets, caught
Right.
up.
So I think the first time they meet, they're gonna meet in Skull Island. So I think King Kong's gonna win because that's Kong turf. He knows where to go. He knows where to hide, and so forth, and where to attack. The second time is gonna be on a neutral one, and I think Godzilla is gonna. They're both gonna fight. It's gonna be intense. Okay, and Godzilla is gonna be Kong. Kong's gonna disappear. But Godzilla is going to be so weakened that that third monster is going to come and beat the crap out of Godzilla, and then that monster is going to be one of taking over the world. King Kong comes back, fights that monster. That monster's beating on Kong. Godzilla comes back. They both team up, and they both beat that monster. But in the process, I think that monster is going to get close to kill Godzilla. Kong is going to save Godzilla, kill that monster, and dies. And therefore, Kong is giving the word king because he gave his life to save Godzilla and humanity. That's what I think is going to happen.
I can see that because Kong has always been more of a hero character. Because even in the Japanese ones, I think one of the ones, Godzilla was a bad guy, and in some of the Godzilla films, Godzilla is a bad guy.
Yes.
And so I could see that happening because I was imagining they would definitely fight, and it would either end in a draw or it would be interrupted by the actual big bad guy monster, who has to be some kind of alien invasion kind of thing, something we have bigger,
Well,
and I think they team up against that, but I'm hoping for an actual win from one of them, whether it's my boy Godzilla or it's King Kong. I don't care. I think it'd be cool to see an actual win.
See, this is what I think. I think it's gonna be. He wins one, Kong wins one, Godzilla wins the other one. Then they kill. Then they team up against that third monster. Does it sound familiar? Batman versus Superman. Does it sound familiar?
Well, yeah.
So
a lot of the comic team ups are like that. Like even Batman versus Spawn, when they had the Image DC team up, they went at each other. Then they had to team up to stop a nuke, and they're like, and go separate ways.
Right.
But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right. So I think
the sacrificial part, especially.
Right. So because if they want to make it legit, because Godzilla at the end of King of the Monster was established that he was King of the Monster. So how do you put the word in front of Kong, King, in front of Kong? Well, he can only be king if he beats both monsters, Godzilla and their monster. And there's no way he's not strong enough to beat both of them. So I actually think that he may die, but he's died a hero. That's what I think. Because remember the
we're used to Kong's story, him dying heroically, because he was on not the Eiffel, the Empire State Building, defending or find that girl who everyone thinks he kidnapped, but he's actually being a hero, and then he dies a hero. That's like King Kong's destiny. And if they're gonna really use the stories of both, I think King Kong definitely has to die. So because we didn't get that in Skull Island, of course, it's a different story, but that's part of his destiny, And I think to do that, we'll have the best of both worlds, King Kong and Godzilla.
Right. I mean, because realistic Kong can beat Godzilla, but however, I think I'm hoping it goes that way. I really do because I think if Godzilla dies and Kong wins, people is gonna be like that's it's not realistic. However, if Kong dies saving Godzilla and helping Godzilla beat that monster, and it's established that Kong save the world and save Godzilla, they're gonna give him. He was truly King Kong. So I mean, that's what I'm hoping. I mean, I don't know nothing. But
Well, with
that's
him having King in his name, it's kind of like he has the title.
yeah, yeah,
So he's
yeah,
got to
yeah.
give the title away if Godzilla wants it.
Yeah, and that third monster I'm hearing is either King Ghidorah, Mecha King Ghidorah, or
I'm hoping for Mecha from space, honestly.
well, here's the thing. This is someone told me this. Obviously, no one doesn't really know.
Yeah,
But the word on this is what the word on the street was. It was either Mecha King Ghidorah or Mecha Godzilla.
I would like Mecha Godzilla, but the thing is, Mecha Godzilla was always human made. So if they keep it human made, that'd be cool. I still
Right,
wanted a monster from space that's a robot.
but check this out. You remember how Lex Luthor made Doomsday?
Oh yeah, he did it with
How?
the Kryptonian technology
Right? But
and Zod's body.
exactly.
Then you
So
get the monster from the third one.
right. So the if you watch King of the Monsters, at the end of the end credit, King Ghidorah head is there. So you could possibly make
Mm-hmm.
Mecha Godzilla with King Ghidorah magic and all that stuff. I mean,
Oh, I see what you mean. That'd be cool.
yeah, yeah. So it's
I just
not
want
a
to see more of this action. That'd be sick. Bring the humans, kind of
uh,
like kind of focus on the humans as because that's actually better because I hate how the human story is forced.
yeah.
So what I liked about like stuff like this and the sequel,
Uh,
I love to show off my shit. I'm sorry, but the thing is that uh it gave the humans purpose because they were physically involved. Before when humans are in the other one, they were just kind of following the action just so we have a human narrative. I felt they were kind of forced. I think that one would make the human story feel more proactive. They're like piloting the mecha, or the mecha takes control and they have to get out of it or something. I think because that's what worked in the first Godzilla movie. I felt they were very involved.
Yeah, you can't be very very involved. You have it has to come naturally. This.
Exactly, naturally, not forced. Because if it's forced, then I'd rather watch the monsters, man. Fast forward the humans.
Yeah, and this is what was killing me about the bloggers that in Godzilla 2014 they complained there was not too much monsters, there was all human, and then King of the Monsters they were complaining, well, there were too much monsters, and not enough humans. It was
Really?
oh yeah, watch, yeah, go look at Rotten Tomato, look at
I
comparative
don't bother with Rotten Tomatoes. I don't like
yeah,
them.
but compare it, compare what the comments, what those bloggers were saying on Godzilla 2014 and King of the Monsters. It was just driving me crazy. So
Oh, that would.
right. So tell me a little bit more. We got away. So you have your own podcast. You have your own show. I mean, what?
Oh, just have my own YouTube channel. Just do whatever I want. I have a podcast on there. That one's slow. I don't do it as much, but I usually do mostly gaming and
I do gaming. You
huh?
got PS4? You got
Yeah,
PS4? You got
I'm waiting for the PS5, man. That's gonna be
you have
fun.
Call of Duty?
Yeah, I have it. I just don't play as much. I'm more of a Fortnite guy because I kind of like cute stuff.
Oh,
That game has a lot of cute elements, but I also like the building in it. And it's also more platformer based. That's more up my alley. But I do have Call of Duty. That's cool. But I also have
Black Ops 4?
a
You got Black
separate.
Ops 4?
Huh?
You got Black Ops 4?
No, I'm probably gonna. I should get it right.
You get it.
All
I'll
right,
send I'll send you an invite
all
so
right.
we can play together. So we
I'm
because
down.
I'm a gamer. I like the thing is that when I first started with PlayStation 1, I first started with Metal Gear.
Hmm.
Oh, Metal Gear. The
Oh,
I played the whole series from PlayStation 1 to 2 to 3 Metal Gear.
dang.
Then my friend who told me to play online, so I started playing Battlefield. Remember Battlefield?
Mm-hmm.
Battlefield 2, Bad Company. Oh, I love that game. Love that
Hey.
game. Bad Company. And then he was telling me about Call of Duty. So when I first tried playing Call of Duty, him and his cousin was making fun of me because I was shooting up in the air, and he was like, Lewis, The map is in a corner. You go like this. You shoot like that. So about a year later, obviously, my friend, he's law enforcement, so he don't have as much time as I do. But now I'm much better, a lot better than him, and I do both. You see, with Call of Duty, uh, I get a gauge of when I go to a lobby. If I hear people about camping, they hate camping. Guess what I'm gonna do?
You gotta break it up.
No, 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 no.
Oh.
I camp to piss them off more. That's what I do. I say, oh, these people hate camping. So I camp and I literally get like 30 to 35 kills. Seriously, camping.
Oh, dang.
Camping. And then I embarrassed them. I said, dude, you guys, complain about camper. I mean, if I'm camping, you know where I'm at, why you can't kill me? Oh my bro. I just do that on purpose just to get under their skin. Bro, we gotta play, bro. We
I like
definitely.
stealth tactics. I'm down. I like
Oh
stealth.
no, you see, I like
Or
I
mental
like
games.
yeah, see, I like to play against people that camp. You know why? Because it makes you think. Okay, how I'm gonna kill this person? Okay, he has this block, he has that block. I'm gonna go over here. Running around just shooting is really. I mean, that's to me, it's just another game. I mean,
Nah,
for
I
some
like to be
maps,
like Snake Eyes or Storm Shadow. Sneak around and
yes,
bam.
yes, yes, yes. That's how a lot of Metal Gear were. It was tactical. You had to think. That's why I like it. But now there are some maps that you can't camp. That you got to go out there and you got to shoot and you got to.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a lot, man. But buy that game, man. I promise you,
All right.
you really will like it. There's another game that it's not Fortnite. My brother plays it. Oh gosh, it's real popular.
Apex?
Huh?
Apex?
No, he plays it on Xbox.
Overwatch?
It's one of those old games that they keep making it. Oh my gosh, it's like
You always say Call of Duty.
huh? No, it's not. It's not. It's. I'm gonna try to describe it to you. It's like a big, strong monster or guy. Like he's half human and half. Let me. Let me. Yeah. Let me. I'm gonna text him.
All right. But hey, finish the rest of your answer. I also have another channel called Sourcewall with my boy
Uh-huh.
Parademon44, where it's just a podcast mostly around Snyder Cut. So you can check that out too. But yeah, I'm mostly on YouTube just to do creative content, videos, and other stuff. And then I'll link it up to my film page later. So yeah,
What?
that's what I do.
What's it called again?
What is Sourcewall, the podcast?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
Sourcewall.
so
That's
it's
separate, but I'm part of it too.
but it's strictly Snyder Cut.
Yeah, strictly Snyder Cut.
Okay. Do you what? God Life? Yes. Yes.
Oh, God Life. He's my
Yeah.
homie.
Yeah. Only God forgives. He's hilarious.
Yeah. Film
Uh,
God.
he's he's very hilarious. What other YouTube channels you follow or podcasts besides
Oh,
High?
Mr. West Ashley. I'm on Go Deep quite a bit. He's my
Yes,
boy. He's
yes.
my brother.
Uh,
Lady Genevieve. I met her at SnyderCon. She just does a lot of film and TV reviews, and I like her ideas. She's very smart and intelligent, very passionate, and I like where she's coming from when she does her stuff. So she's really good to check out.
I'm gonna send me her information. I'm gonna
Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel, but I'll send you the information. No problem. You can always find me on Twitter. I'm always tweeting something either deep or just for fun.
he says just Gear 5
Just Gear 5.
on Xbox.
Oh, is it an Xbox exclusive? Because I'm mostly PS. I'm a PlayStation guy and
Yeah,
Nintendo.
yeah. Let me see. No, there was.
So Xbox. I'm sorry. I only got an Xbox 360, or I even forgot what model. But the only Xbox I ever got into was Marvel Ultimate Alliance, because the Xbox one, I think at the time, came with Blade, so I needed to have that. Blade's my boy. And then I had Fable, because that was Xbox exclusive. Another Xbox game. Oh yeah, Blade 2. This is a crummy game, but I forced myself to get good at it because it was all I want more blades. So those are only 3 Xbox games I ever played, and at that time, after that, it's just Nintendo and PlayStation.
There were. He's telling me it's called. I can't remember. I'll recognize it if I see. But I'm not an Xbox person. I've tried it to play it one time. I just didn't like the feel of the control. I did see the PS5. Now I've never ever when the PlayStation series came out. I've always waited a year and a half to 2 years. I mean I can't see my. I mean well now even more. I mean now I can't because I have a sick child now. So
In time, I either buy the console right when it comes out, or I get it 2 years later. Because sometimes there's a better model too, anyways, instead of the launch one. So I don't blame you. I'm still playing games from like PS2 era, so
I
I'll
got
take
I
my
got
time.
I got my PS3 because I got it. The only reason I got it for because I still like the Black Ops 2.
Mm.
I love.
There's a really good first-person shooter game on that called Black. That's a cool
You ever heard of Gears
video
of
game.
War?
Oh yeah,
I think that's the one.
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, because that's Xbox exclusive. Yeah, I can't talk sometimes.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah. So
yeah. That's the other one.
right. So send me her information so I could send her invite because I've always have gentlemen and I'm looking for the I've invited Ali Brooks. I've been trying to get a hold of
Oh,
her.
you'll love Lady Genevieve. She's smart and wonderful. She's a good person. She's cool.
Yeah, yeah. Tell her about me. So I could now she knows about this. She's a supporter of the Snyder Cut. I mean,
Yeah,
tell
she was
her.
sitting right next to me during the questionnaire at BVS,
Oh yeah.
and she asked a question before me as well. Oh, I didn't get to ask my question, but she was there, and she's really cool. And I also ran into her later, the next month later at WonderCon in line. So she's just really cool people. I always give a shout out and love to her, and her channel's great. She's smart, passionate, like I said, good person.
Okay, okay. I'm definitely gonna hit you up. We're gonna open up to some questions for the people in the chat. So if you have any
Oh,
questions,
live comments. Oh wow, this is my first time here. Oh wow, there's people. Zod Rider's here.
yeah, all right. You
Yo,
got Man Ray
yo,
Jeff.
he's so good because his voice is exactly what you said. It's got that radio voice.
Mhm.
But on top of that, it's also his personality. He's just a very kind person, and he's honest. Wears his heart on his sleeve, and I think that aura of his translates through his voice and just how he carries himself. Wonderful guy, and one of the best smiles I've seen. So
I'm gonna
he's the
tell you why.
man.
I'm gonna tell you why I like Film God. Because
I was
he.
talking about Zod Rider, but Film Gob, yeah, let's
Oh
go.
no, I know Zara
Film
for a
Gob is
while,
dope.
but Film God. You know I like him because he could take it. But you give it to him, he's gonna give you back a double. And oh my God, he the way he gave it to Jan Campia, but that was hilarious, bro. That's just like oh my God, I'm like yeah, baby, give it to him, give it to him. And the way he gave it to Jody and to Andy, oh my God, it's like he doesn't care, man. It's like oh my God, it's just so and he has a big platform.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
he
God.
what's funny, his videos are so strong, and he kind of reminds me of the Soup. Remember that show? Where the
Yes,
guy
yes.
he's like the Soup for me, but for the internet. And I only found out mostly about this John Campia and the Joby guy from Film Gob, because I don't follow those people. That's not my thing.
No,
But
listen.
it's just crazy.
You do not want to be on his troll list
No, I
because
made
if you
Film Gob a fighter in my video game series. I have a little pro wrestling video game series, like fantasy football, but pro wrestling.
right,
I
right.
just make it off of my homies and some people in the movement. And I made a fighter for Film Gob because he's entertaining and he can bam lay a smackdown while being so sweet and nice.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, and the reason he was trolling them is because they said we were never going to see the Snyder cut.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I
they
remember those
were. It's one thing
reading.
to have an opinion, say, you know what, I don't believe it's going to be released and so forth, but what do I know? But when you making constant videos saying it's never going to be released, we're trolling, it's never going to happen, bro. If you ever get on his list, you're in trouble, man. Because oh boy, he's gonna come after you, man. So man, so but it was just like hilarious, bro. It's like I'm like, oh my god, like he got some to
Yeah,
go
Film
down.
God really lays the smack down very nice, and I'm
Yeah,
glad he does because I will say when people say our film shouldn't come out just because they don't like it, because I'm also active with the hashtag No Hate for my LGBT brothers and sisters, right? So when people say, "Oh, you can't marry who you want," because it's not our preference, I take that insult the same as when people say the cut shouldn't come out because I don't like it. It's just like the same type of prejudice, and to dedicate so much passion
yeah.
to be against something that makes other people happy for themselves is a prejudice and hatred I just don't understand. It's
To me,
it's
it's just
bothersome and very petty. And to put so much dedication behind that's got to be hard on your soul. That's not nice.
well, I'm gonna real soon. Okay, I try to do it, but I'm gonna do it on my show now. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you know Chris Jericho, right? So
Yeah,
he had you just made the list.
champagne, touch of the
Yeah,
bubbly.
you remember he used to do. You just made the list,
You just made the yeah. I use that a lot too.
right? So who do we want to crown today in the first ever Louis Centeno show? You just made the list. Come on, any nomination, any nomination. We got John Campia, we got Jody, we got Andy. I mean, there's so many to name, but we're gonna name one today. I mean, if you, Lord Coche, could choose just one, who you think should be the first you just made the list person?
Ah, it's a tie between Campia or Joby. Jody.
Jody? What do you
Jody.
guys say?
Okay.
What does the people in the chat says? Any suggestions? Because I'm leaning towards Jody. Because at least John Campia, at least he likes Man of Steel. He's a big he's a big Man of Steel. He's a big Man of Steel fan. And
Oh,
he
that's nice.
narrated, huh?
That's nice. I love
Yeah,
Man of Steel.
right, right,
Then
right.
let's give it to Joby.
Jody.
Jody. Sorry.
Okay, well, I was leaning towards because he actually looked like a
Because I
punk.
think he's the one who's also insulted the movement and the people and
Oh
downplayed the
yes,
charities. So I think that's very disrespectful and mean
right.
to because the problem is here. No, I'll tell you the problem. Sorry, I'm getting fired up right now.
It's
But
okay.
the
It's okay.
problem of insulting the movement and downplaying its good quiets the message of mental health and suicide prevention because we want to stop suicide. Ooh,
Guys, this was given to me
nice.
for Christmas. This is
Hey,
hopefully
show and tell. I love it. That's dope, man.
yeah. This is Dark Side. Um, tells the history. That's Dark Side.
By the way, we got to do a little shout out to Dennis O'Neil. He passed this week. He's a writer for DC. He's the guy who wrote the story of Muhammad Ali versus Superman.
Oh
That
yeah.
guy was mad cool. But yeah, he
Wow.
passed, I think, yesterday. That's when I saw the
Wow.
news.
Wow. That's good.
We lost a great person, man.
Yeah, we did. We did, man. Great,
Yeah.
great mind. Great mind. Here's another one.
Hey,
Another one.
what else he got? Ooh, nice. I really like Modern Age, all the way up to before they went down to New 52. Man, that cover takes me back to Adam West show
It is.
when they drew the black over Batman's mask before it, and they did the
Right.
white eyebrows. That was kind of cool.
Right. So to be transparent,
Manraj, Jody all the way.
okay. So right now, I'm going to crown. This is for you, Jody. For
Hey,
all
film
the
god.
dumb things you said, for all the idiotic things that you said, you just made the list. You just made the list of being
I need
the
a push
most
pen.
idiotic person on YouTube. Forget YouTube. Being the most idiotic person in America. Wait, no, not America. Being
I
the
would say
most
the meanest.
idiotic
I don't know
person in
about
the world. In the world. Listen. I know what
that.
you're saying, Tony. Jody has donated to the suicide prevention. Do you really think? I mean, he did
Nice.
that. He did that for a reason. Okay.
I'm
It
still
wasn't.
glad he did it though.
I know. Okay, he did it, but he did it to poke fun at us. And listen, I don't know about you people out there. You know, in the chat, I'm a suicide survivor. I'm a suicide survivor. So I think maybe I just have a little say in this. And to me, that was this it wasn't genuine at all.
Ooh.
I don't think it was genuine at all. No way. I don't think it was a genuine at all. Because if he wanted to do it, okay. See, when we donated to the suicide prevention, we put a face to it. We put Zack Snyder's daughter face into it. We were telling, we were reaching out to people. When he did it being anti-Snyder. Okay, I'm sorry. To me, now you guys wanna accept it. That's on you guys. But me as a suicide survivor, to me that was idiotic. That was idiotic. Okay, so I lost. I just I called him the most idiotic person there is. I mean, and then to use the slave analogy, really, the slave analogy. That number one, that even makes sense because AT&T bought Warner Brothers. So how are you gonna say Warner Brothers is slave to AT&T when AT&T bought Warner Brothers? I mean, just I
You
didn't.
said that?
Yes, watch them out.
you,
Yeah,
you buy a DC comic, it says in the copyrights and all that, a Time Warner company. It's like bleh. It's like been there for ages.
yeah. He was, and the reason the reason that he's upset is because now he sees the direction of DCEU that they're not gonna care what the blogger says. Remember when Joker came out and all the media was against, it was about white man killing.
Yeah, and they
Remember?
said it was gonna start bunch of people killing everyone and all that, and all it did was generate a whole bunch of people dancing on streets and saying, "I want to have sex with Joker."
Yeah, and now not only that, but quote unquote white man killing. How many movies were there you see white man killing? Plenty of them, and you didn't have a problem. But now you have a problem with the Joker. Okay, so and this narrative was ran by who? It was ran by the bloggers who was in bed with Disney and the media. And to me, it got me angry that they will run with that narrative. And then when I finally saw Joker, I'm like, it's nothing compared to the way they depict it. And literally,
Not really.
no. And there was a
They
blogger
even
that
make
said
Joker kind of like a sympathetic victim too, which I was never used to seeing him.
one of the bloggers says, I didn't like the Joker because they make the Joker a narcissist, mental problem, evil person. Hello, that's who the Joker is. Oh my God, I was screaming. Said, you just described the Joker. I mean, and you don't get it. Please, somebody take away her credentials, please.
He be who he is. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God! I mean, it just drove me crazy, man. I gotta calm down right now because my blood pressure
Yeah,
is
bring
getting
it
a little
down, brother.
high.
Bring it down. You're good. You're
I'm
safe.
stressed as it is right now. Going through what I'm going through with my kid, but this is I'm just letting out steam. So,
No, that's cool. It's like when you hear someone say the Earth is flat and they believe it.
right. No, listen, Tony, because I want to be transparent. And this is what Tony says. Okay, so let's. Jody has donated to the prevention. Just putting that out there, whether you like him or not, just facts.
Cool.
Yes, he did. Okay. Yes, more power,
Appreciate
more
it.
power. But however,
Everyone has good in them.
right. However, check out the video because number one, he said he couldn't find if he would have knew about this, he would have donated a long time ago. And the reason that he didn't do it quicker, when he went to the American Suicide Foundation, he couldn't find the donate button. He just lied. He just lied to everybody because when you go to the website the first thing you see right there, right in front of you, is the donate button. So that was a lie. That was a lie.
Yeah, you could even
Okay.
write checks to them too. That's what I've done for because I did I worked on the FA Cup campaign with Will Rollins and
Mhm.
Carlos Pro, and we were helping Will Rollins, and I wrote the check out for suicide AFSP, and it's even on. It's very easy to do. It's
Hold
not
on.
difficult.
Give me a second. My daughter just texted me. The one Jasmine. Um,
Oh, hey Jasmine,
yeah, yeah. She's a
is
real
she doing
sweat.
well?
Yeah. I mean, she just got diagnosed with in June. In June, she just got diagnosed in May. Was it May? Late. It was late April, May.
Okay.
Where she got diagnosed. So it really hit it hit us hard, man. It really did. Thank God it's not life threatening if she takes her
Yeah, and
medication.
it's good that you catch it early on. You know, I work at a neurology medical office, so I'm aware of uh,
Right,
down the end of the road. So it's good. And
right.
I
But
donated, brother. And next time I get a check, if I could donate more, I got you again a third time. I'll trilogy you. I'll trilogy you. I got you, man. I love you, man.
Yeah, thank you. What we're gonna do once we raise the money we needed, I'm gonna do a special show with my family, so everybody could see out there. I want people to not just see it by picture or by Twitter, but I want them to see a face. I want them to actually. I know last week my daughter, Jasmine, she got on for a couple of minutes, was talking to Will, and but I'm gonna do a show where just my family out there, so we could speak to the audience and just let them know how grateful we are. Because I want you guys to see that, because I think it's important. So now here's Zod. Zod.
Hey, chubby chubby monster. Hey, buddy.
Zaz says Jody said he's doing that, but there is no proof to support his claim, and he is making fun of the Snyder Cut movement. Well, as far as the first part, I always like to give people the benefit of doubt when they say they donated, because the last thing I want to do is say they didn't do it when they did. So but to me that's not the point. Uh,
How do you donate and insult people at the same time?
exactly, number one. And again, as a suicide survivor, when this whole campaign when we started. The reason why we did it is because we were supporting Zack Snyder and his daughter. We put a face into it. He's donating, but donating in the anti-Snyder Cut movement. So it defeats the purpose to me, and I just feel like he's making fun of us. And to me, as a suicide survivor, I think maybe I just may have just a little say. I think I'm. And for those people that don't believe me, I'm not sure if you can see it. Hold on, let me see. You see it? You see
Ah,
it? You see
I
it?
see some scar.
Yeah. I slipped my wrist 4 times.
Dang, man.
Yeah, 4 times, and it happened when I was 18 years old. 18 years old. Jesus, that's typically around Zack Snyder's daughter age, Autumn, 19. I think that's where's the age she committed suicide. Was it
Mhm.
19? I believe it was 19.
How
Um,
did you feel after you realized how far you went?
well, at the time,
Yeah, at the time.
yeah, at the time, and I'm glad, for those, if anybody who's suffering from depression, because depression is a silent killer. And depression, when someone suffers from depression, it makes them get away from people. It makes them feel hopeless. No matter how they feel, it just feel like they have no hope. So at the time, at 18 years old, I was going through a lot. My parents separated. My uncle, he committed suicide. My uncle committed suicide. I went through a nasty breakup. At the time. At the time. Um, I broke up with my girlfriend, so I feel like my whole world was coming down. I just felt hopeless, and so when I did it, I actually wanted to die. And then the police officer came and wrap up my wrist, and he was talking to me, and then he took me to I think he took me to the hospital, and I stood there for about a couple of days, and then it's just and then when I started to see this love and support, I still was feeling depressed. It wasn't where, again, this is where my religious belief comes in. That it wasn't until I gave my heart to Jesus completely that the emptiness and peace that I was lacking, He gave to me. So ever since from there, I've been okay. And now what I do is I speak to a lot of young people who suffer through that, and let them know that anyone, that you're not alone, that you don't have to feel the way that you have to feel, that you are loved, that people care for you, that and that I think that's why this foundation, it holds dear to my heart, because to me it's more than giving money, and this is and Tony, I'm gonna address what you said. It's just not about giving money, and it's more. Is it given to charity important? Yes, but what good it is that you give money, but there is no programs. You see what I'm saying? A person, I could give money, but do I really do I believe in that cause, or do I support? Because sometimes you could give money to a charity, but there's no programs. So, and I know what you're saying. I'm gonna bring this up because I just want to be transparent. Okay, again, just putting out there, whether you like them or not, Jody and Andy has apologized to the Sonic. No, 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 sorry. Well, you know what? Frank, Tony, do me a favor. Send me a link where Jody apologized. Now, I've seen Andy. His was a half-hearted. Not a problem. Okay, send me the link where Jody says, "I apologize. I was wrong. The Snyder Cut should be released, and I apologize for attacking all the supporters."
And
Send me
after
the
that
link.
moment, no more videos of him bashing it either. Because if he
Right.
apologized then and after that he continues to bash the movement, then was that a real apology to begin with?
Yeah, exactly. Because when you apologize
Because
for
I saw
something,
Andy's one, and I give him a plus point for that.
yeah, and again,
That was
and I
respectful.
have,
I
and
appreciate that.
To Andy's credit, although it was to me was a half-hearted apology, but he hasn't
But it
made.
was something. It was big.
Yeah, no, it was, and I'm gonna give him some credit. And to me, what's more impressive than the half apology that he gave is he hasn't attacked the Snyder Cut or
Mm.
the movement. So that's why I give Andy credit.
Because we've
That
seen many bloggers who have not even said any apology. They
do,
just did a 180 out of nowhere.
do you get what I'm saying, Tony? Andy, I buy because Andy, okay, he gave an apology and he stopped from there. He was not attacking the movement. He apologized, and he has not made any videos calling us toxic that I've seen calling us toxic. Jody has continued to make videos after that. He made a T-shirt. He made a T-shirt saying anti-Snutter Cut, and every T-shirt that is bought is going to go to the American Suicide Foundation. To me, how's that an apology? It's a blue T-shirt that says "Release the Snyder Cut" and it has an X on it. To me, that's not an apology. I'm sorry. To me, that's not an apology. I take Andy apology over Jody. I'm sorry. It's all backfiring. He still attacks us to this day. Thank you. I'm telling you. To me, you know, how can you give to a charity? He says, you know what? I'm for mental illness. I'm for the American Suicide Foundation, but then attack the movement that was a big supporter that gave it a name. As far as
Mm.
like a lot of people was donating. Yes, Zara. Andy has kept his word. He has kept the word.
Oh,
Jody
good.
has, yeah, Jody that I've seen again. Send me the link where he totally apologized that he was wrong attacking us. Then I don't want to see no video after that him attacking us again, because to me it's like, yo, Lord J, it's like a man cheating on his girl. Oh, I'm sorry, I will never cheat again. I promise, I'm sorry.
And
And then
does
the
the
next
next day.
he's cheat. I mean, what was good the apology if you cheated again? I mean, to me, it doesn't.
It's like almost saying, "I'm sorry, I do this while you keep doing it."
Yeah, exactly. So, and again, Tony, I'm not disputing, whether he gave or he didn't. A lot of people say that there's no proof of it. I always like to give the benefit of the doubt of people that say that donated. So I'm not disputing that he didn't give. I'm not disputing that. And if he say he did, I give him the benefit of the doubt. My issue is that he gave, but he gave in the attacking of the Snyder Cut movement, and our movement, we put a face into the suicide prevention, was Autumn Snyder. So I'm sorry, to me as a suicide survivor, I find that highly offensive. I'm sorry. So, but I don't want to get too deep into that, because to me he still made the list. I'm sorry. He still made the list. So we
But
can
we're
erase.
nice. We did in pencil. We could erase it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna do.
Hope.
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it in pencil. The list. Jody is number one. So he made the first. Uh, Chris did his Chris Jericho. All the credit goes to him. But this is the Chris Jericho. You made the list, and it's Jody number one. So, anything else you have for the audience, Lord Coche, and anything that you want to add before we go?
Oh, well, if we're going to go, I mean, shoot. The movie's coming out. We've been fighting for this film and it's coming out. I'm very excited for that. And it sounds like just on our podcast. And I don't want to say anything that we already said on that podcast, but to add to it, I think this is a great direction that everyone can get something that they like from DC Universe. And there's something for everyone. Like the buffet analogy. I forgot who came up with that, but DC, yay, my boy. So this buffet analogy, everyone's going to have something for each other, and there's no reason to fight, because I think the misconception when they do a story is people think a reboot is to erase the past films or do. It's just another story. In truth, it's just another story to add to the mix of this huge superhero emotional theme park that we have, that everyone can go to every ride that they like and everyone's going to be happy. So that's a good thing. And I think having a bigger family, as diverse and different as we are, is better for DC as a whole, because I think that's essentially the main theme of it all. And, if we could coexist, we could learn to live, like, and love each other no matter how different we are. And we don't have to fight over petty stuff. Maybe we could spend more time showing how much we love something instead of how much we hate something.
Yeah. So for those that didn't haven't watched the
I don't think
roundtable,
it's up yet.
you don't think it's up yet?
Ours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to give you a sneak preview. I think what the Flash, Ezra Miller Flash appearing in CW Flash allowed DCEU and DCE and Warner Brothers to do is to establish a multiverse, a multi-universe.
Which is good because best at that, in my opinion, over the years.
I'm sorry?
DC has been really good and
Yes.
creatively with multiverse out of like a
Right.
lot of the franchises out there that I've
That's
ever seen.
something that Marvel can't do. At least not as of yet. They're probably gonna try, but but that's
Marvel's
DC.
gone through a little bit too many reboots to
Right.
keep up with their universes, but they'll make it happen eventually. But I think DC has been way more organized and embracing of their stuff. Sorry, go on.
Right. So that allows us to have more than one Flash, different interpretation of Flash, different interpretation of Batman, different interpretation of Superman, and you have the best of both worlds. People that like Zack Snyder's style gets to watch that. People who likes Matt Reeves Batman gets to watch that. So for that person who emailed me, okay, now you're gonna have different interpretation of Batman that that you could watch that, and then if you like one, you don't have to watch the other one. So I think that was very smart of them to do. And back in February, after the week after, I think the it was reported that on February 6th, that Zack showed his cut to the executive. The week after, I got word that says the name that is floating out there is Zack Snyder DCEU. 4 months later, now we're seeing that to come into fruition. Um, so now you hear my little dog barking, Princess.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So
Zack Snyder's DCEU.
right. So Lord Koj, thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining me. I'm gonna have to start cooking because now today we're celebrating Jasmine's birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, Jasmine! And yo, thank
Yes.
you so much for having me on. It's a
Yeah.
pleasure. You're a wonderful person,
Thank you.
and
Thank
thanks
you.
for being so kind and having me here,
Yeah,
man. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man. So she turns 21, and
Oh, whoa!
yeah, she already asked me what is her 21-year-old privilege.
Are you gonna have the first drink with her,
We actually we
or
don't
do you
drink.
do that? Sorry.
No. We don't. Maybe a water or a diet juice with no sugar.
Something to cheers and celebrate, man.
Yeah. No, we are. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Oh, like,
Oh,
yeah, but mine is more of a weight issue, so I'm
oh,
losing
duh,
weight.
drink.
Right. So once I lose the weight, they're thinking that I could reverse it. So I'm really,
Mm-hmm.
working on that. So, but yeah, man. So everybody,
Sorry, I get in party mode. I forget everything.
yeah, I know, bro. When we hit the 40s, man, everything start losing our minds, our vision, and everything.
Yo, we just get more delicate. We're still strong.
Yeah,
We still
yeah.
got it.
Yeah. So everyone, I want to thank Zarrod. I want to thank Tony. Tony, thank you so much. Tony's been with me since day one. I want to acknowledge that, Tony. Thank you so much.
Chubby Teddy Monster and
Yeah,
Film God, I
Chevy
see
Teddy
you.
Monsters is with us as well. I appreciate that. Film God, thank you for joining me, man. It was an honor to have you on my show. Renato Felipe, the Nikita Show. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man. So thank you guys for joining me, and I'll have you on again, okay? Low Coach down the road, okay?
I'll be there. Thank
All
you.
right, man. All right, thank you so much. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining my show. Gonna have to cut it a little bit short. Today is a very special day. My oldest daughter, Jasmine, who Will Rollins did um, the fundraiser with we're celebrating her 21st birthday today. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for all the support, love. Trust me, we are very grateful. We're humble. We're touched by everything. Next week is going to be a cool show. Next week I plan to have a subject review. It's going to be joining me next week at 12 o'clock, along with. I'm just going to tell you his name. Give me just a second. What's his name? Oh gosh, he's gonna kill me. Uh, Matt Mick World. He's gonna be joining me next week as well. So we're gonna have I'm gonna have two guests joining me next week. So thank you, Tony. Thank you so much. I'll let Jasmine know that you say happy birthday. Thank you so much. That is my email. Let me see. Hold on. I don't know your email. Let me see. Can you send me a message? Let me go back up here. Okay. All right. So the email you probably read was mine, Lewis. Okay. Okay. Uh. Tony, are you EGC? Ah. Okay, Tony. You're in Miami. That's a okay. I'm glad I was able to read your email. So yes, man. You know what, Tony? Let's. I'm gonna. I want you to come on. I want you to come on. You know, and it's just gonna just be me and you just talking. And so forth. So but yeah, man. I'll chat, man. I think you put your phone number there, so I'll chat with you, man. Palm Bay, Florida. Okay. Well, now I know if I ever go to Miami, dinner on you. So thank you guys so much, guys. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much once again. You guys have no idea how grateful I am for those that have donated, have retweeted, and me and my wife, are very grateful. Jasmine, she's touched and humbled by the love and support that she's receiving. It really encouraged her. It really gives her. Uh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's the four of us. I'm bringing my family, so that's okay. But we keep in contact, okay, Tony? So guys, thank you so much. Have a blessed Saturday. I'll see you next week. Someone did an intro for my show. I just need to know how to put in the intro to my show, but I do have an intro theme that I'll be introducing real soon. And I'm gonna give a shout out to that person. So little by little, I'm building up my channel, and I'm definitely one of these days I'm gonna have an appreciation day for all those people that are supporting my channel, has been there with me since day one. So guys, again, have a blessed day. Have a great Saturday. Please be safe. Thank you. Thank you for joining the Louis Centeno Show.